both played college tennis. Both of you played All-Americans. Like, what made you guys go pro after that? Just the momentum of it?
For me, it was the natural progression. Like, I felt like I did well enough at school where I would give myself a chance to be successful as a pro. And it's something that I knew I wanted to do even before I went to school. So it was just the natural next step to my life, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say similar. Like, I think Evan was better as a junior probably than me, and so it was a little bit more realistic for him. And it was always kind of a dream for me growing up to be a pro. And I went to college and got a lot better. And kind of the same thing he was talking about. Like, felt like I did well enough to to warrant at least trying.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of similar.
Did you guys know each other in college?
Knew
Never
of
crossed
each
paths.
other, but
Knew of each other.
Yeah, exactly. Tennis is small.
I know the name, played at Michigan, all that.
Yeah.
But Michigan never played tennis.
Yeah, I never talked to him.
What do you guys think of people going to college versus going straight pro? Do you think it's the right path move, or do you think it just depends on the circumstance?
Completely depends on the circumstance.
Okay.
There are people that are crazy stupid good at that age.
Yeah.
Like, you take someone like Donald Young was one in the world when he was 15 in the 18 and unders. He should not be going to college.
Yeah.
TFO should not go to college. I don't think Kozlov should have gone to college, but someone like me, I don't think as a 17 or 18-year-old that mentally I could take losing every single week for
weeks on end.
Weeks on end, years on end.
Yeah.
You're not really going to do anything in pros until you physically mature. So mentally I didn't have it together enough to grind that. And then obviously college gave me the opportunity to grow physically because I was a pretty scrawny kid, and grow physically, mature mentally, and then obviously college is college. That's fun. So I'm a huge advocate for it, but I think every situation is different.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of my peer group could have gone to college and then they would have gotten lost in college, basically, and their tennis would have gone to absolute crap.
Yeah.
So it's different personalities work for different people.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. I think everything you said is pretty accurate. It's just different for every kid and every person. I think a lot of it has to do with your support staff, and one of the biggest things for me is I don't think it's a smart idea to forego college if you haven't had success playing, at least primarily, a heavy pro schedule, a lot of futures, and if you're able to handle that mentally and physically, kind of like he was saying.
Yeah.
But I don't think if you're 16, 17, 18 and you're
being
really
average.
good in the juniors,
Yeah.
Maybe you're even number one in the world, but if you haven't played 20 futures in a year, I don't necessarily know if it's
Your
it's
level
the best.
might be there, but the mind and the grind,
dude,
and
it's
you have to start
the
a
mentality
future.
of it.
And you're alone.
You're
You're
going
traveling
to a
alone.
random
You're going,
place.
yes.
Yeah.
And money becomes really real all of a sudden. All right, maybe someone's supporting you and stuff, but still, you start to realize you're spending money and not making it.
So what was that a big reality for you, going into the pro circuit?
Huge. Even through college, money wasn't real. It was, had a scholarship. My parents, helped tuition. I had some money from
I'm a
school
poor kid
every week.
living a rich life, basically.
Kind of. And you just don't
just
realize
little
it.
things you go to school, you give your rackets away. The next day they get strung. You're going on a flight. They just tell you meet at the tennis center at X time. Transportation takes you to the airport. You don't worry about checking your bags. You don't do this, don't do that. And then as soon as you're a pro, obviously you have to play tennis, but then you're working
you're
flights. You're managing
your travel
your own
agent,
career,
coach, manager, scheduler.
You have a whole
player,
whole other team.
But that's all you.
Yeah.
Every. You're not just worried about tennis. In college, it's just so easy. Tennis in school. Tennis in school. You have stressors and things stress you out and stuff, but in the grand scheme of things, you're living a life. All you have to do is go out and hit the ball.
Yeah.
And love it.
Yeah.
True. We got a pro doubles match tonight. If we win, I guess we can book our flight to Dallas the
For
next Sunday. If we lose, then we come pretty
We book
soon.
it tomorrow. We figure out how we're gonna get here, how we're gonna get there. Yeah.
Very cool. Good talk.
So it's just completely different, and there's a lot of stuff that you're probably not aware of.
Yeah.
If you're in the juniors, your parents are doing it or your coach is doing it, and all of a sudden, still maybe if you're that good, someone's still kind of taking care of it for you, but I think a lot of stuff becomes a reality that you're not necessarily aware of.
Junior tennis is crazy expensive, and I had no
I had
idea
no
at the
idea,
time.
dude. We're spending,
No idea.
X number of dollars a night on a hotel 2 weekends a month. every month.
Yeah.
You know, and
people don't
driving
realize that.
and flying and like
It's crazy.
even I didn't realize that. My parents just did it.
Paying
Yeah,
it,
you know,
just
like
going to whatever.
yeah,
like,
right. Like I had academy, like
crazy.
you know, going tennis lessons. cost
People
money.
took care of it
like,
for
all that
you,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
now you have to do it yourself.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people don't understand what that's actually like.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because
Yeah.
especially when you play a challenger in Cleveland in the middle of January,
Mhm.
like how does someone like realize what the reality is of this kind of tour?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can take, like, our month, for example. We played the same schedule, so, like, we started off in Orlando, and then the next tournament was in Columbus, and then
Mhm.
there was a week off, so you go and train wherever, like, your home base is. Last week was in LA, and then this week's up here, so it's traveling all across, and, like, all these flights are more or
Yeah,
less
right-
last second.
right
so it's
off
like
the bat.
400, 500 bucks.
Right
like,
off the
for
bat,
flight.
this tournament costs almost $1,000 because we fly here from LA,
Yeah.
400, and we fly out it's 450, 500. I mean,
And
right
you might
off
have
the
to
bat.
change your flight. So like,
Well, we haven't booked it yet.
oh, so you book a one-way flight
Yeah.
here,
Bunch
Yeah.
of one-ways.
Yeah.
bunch of one-ways.
Last minute one ways.
Because
Wow.
we don't know if, like,
Yeah.
our tournament could have been done on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our tournament can be done on Sunday.
Exactly.
And then if our tournament is done on Tuesday, there's no reason to stay here until Sunday, so you
Mhm.
can't really, like, book it.
And then
in
you're paying,
advance
since
kind
you're out of
thing.
the tournament, you're paying hotels for those days.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like, it's almost always cheaper to just book a one way for the next day after you lose
Yeah.
versus like take a risk and stay in a hotel, not have much. So yeah, so right off the bat, this is a $1,000 tournament. You got to make
At least $1,000 just to
yeah
break
break
even.
even.
Just
a
to break
s-
even.
And,
And then you gotta
semi
eat.
might not cut
And
it.
then you have to
yeah,
eat.
you got to eat, right? You got to string rackets. You got to
Because you don't
like-
pay for, you have to pay for
Yeah,
that.
we
You
do.
can't.
Yeah.
The tournament doesn't provide you at
No.
least at this level.
no.
No.
There's no
At any
way.
At no level.
no
at
level.
do they provide
Yeah, even
stringing.
slams you got to pay for stringing.
Really?
And they
Yeah.
charge you way more for stringing.
Oh, of
I want
course.
to say US Open's like 30, 35 bucks per racket
For-
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Guys are dropping hundreds of dollars for stringing
Yeah.
at the slams. You know,
That being said,
3-4
they're making,
rackets a day.
50
They're
grand.
50 grand a round.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
If you make the first round of a slam, you're making 50
Yeah,
grand right off the
so
bat,
they're-
especially
so
the
they're
U.S.
chilling.
Open.
Mhm.
Right.
So, in my last question would probably be, I think you guys talked about it a little bit, but did you know you were going pro immediately after college, or like you
I
said,
did.
you did?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I made that decision, like probably after my junior year. That
Really?
after my senior year, I was gonna.
Did you guys
Do
tell
it.
your coaches immediately as soon as you made the decision, or was it like slowly, like you had it in the back of your mind and then it like popped out?
My coach knew going into school I was going to turn pro after.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
My coaches knew that-
I was prepped.
My coaches knew that that's
That
what
was
I
the
wanted to
idea.
do, and then when I did start winning a lot,
Yeah.
then they were like
They
pushing
saw
me
it.
to do it. They were like, yeah, dude, like give it a go. Like
Keep
you-
that momentum,
You
like you
need
said.
to. You need to go. Like you deserve a chance to do
Yeah.
it. So yeah, awesome. But there was never, at least for me, there was never like a chance I wasn't gonna finish.
Yeah.
I know some guys that's like coaches
Exactly.
are like, wait, don't like, please stay another year, or whatever. But
Yeah.
like for me, it was like I was gonna do all 4 years.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Thanks, man. Good luck
Easily.
today.
Appreciate it.
No problem.